Hi guys, welcome to Growing Knowledge again. This week we've got some more plant idents for you, some stuff we've got kicking around. It's the 5th of December, so things are getting quite bleak out there, so we're limited on some of that material we've got. I'm Paul.
I'm Peter.
Ross.
And we're going to take you through those, or should I say Pete's going to take me and Ross through them. So Pete, what's number one for us today?
Okay, yeah, we've got number one. Anybody recognise this? It's cross Halimiocistus sahucii.
Catchy.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah. Low growing plant, as you can see. Makes a good plant for rockeries. What you're really looking at here is a very thin leaf. Can you see a very thin leaf with a ridge down the middle, strong central vein to it. And then when we get to summer, this will have white flowers. So fairly open flowers, and it is literally, as it says, cross Halimiocistus, a cross between a Halimium and a cistus, so your rock rose.
And the leaf colour on this, is that the same all year round, or is that just a sign of the season where it's got the red tipping to it?
Red tipping, yeah. Red tipping is likely to be a sign of the season. People often think that evergreen shrubs carry on with their foliage all throughout the year. They don't lose the leaves. Well, they do. They lose them just sort of randomly rather than in one big go. And that's exactly what's happening here.
And is that due to the chlorophyll just coming out of the leaf and translocating?
Could well be, yeah. I doubt it's nutrient deficiency because it's in a pot with osmocote, so a long-term fertiliser. So yeah, it is likely to just be the process of abscission, losing leaves.
Right. And that one again?
So cross Halimiocistus sahucii.
You're going to write that one down for us, Pete?
Yeah, we'll have to spell that one. So,
and just so our viewers know, we'll put that on the discussion thread of the YouTube channel. So make sure you're subscribing to this so we can get those discussion threads running, and so you can pick up the genus, species, and cultivars of these plants as we're taking you through them. We'll make sure the spelling's right, the capitalisation's right, the speech marks are right, and all those things that matter.
Except we don't use speech marks, it's quotation marks. Just be careful with that.
There you go.
That's why Peter's teaching and we're learning.
That's right.
So there's your first one. So realistically, a fairly evergreen shrub.
Unlike this.
Unlike this. Well, here's a quirk of the season. Yeah, ribes. As you can see, the foliage there is that sort of almost palmate leaf shape. Typical of anything in Ribes family, which the Ribes family is one of the few families not actually named after the principal genus. It's the Glossulariaceae family. So
you can see why I changed that to Ribes.
Yeah. So the foliage itself has that sort of fruity scent to it. Want to try? Fruity scent.
I wouldn't get your nose too close to that.
It's very prickly, this one, so don't get a face full of it. But yeah, you've got that fruity scent there, as with any Ribes. This is Ribes speciosum, so you might be familiar with sanguineum. So your flowering current with a cane-like structure, like a fruiting current. This is, as you can see from the shape of it, it's a little bit more random in its habit. It's curved stems. Though it's classified as deciduous, you can see it's hanging on to a lot of foliage over the winter. It's almost knocking on the door of a semi-evergreen, this one.
Is that partly on the location of where we have it in the garden?
Very good point. It's in a walled garden. Behind us, we're within the potting shed of the walled garden. This is right against the wall. There's a bit of residual heat there, tricking it. What about, have you seen this in late spring, early summer?
Is that when it flowers with sort of the tubular sort of looking flowers?
Yeah, a bit like a red and pink fuchsia.
Ah, yes, this is the one that you can trail across a sort of doorway and get those tubes hanging down. I know exactly what you're talking about now.
So this one, as you say, doorways, arches, anything like that, it's not a climber, it's not strictly a wall shrub, but it does do well with a certain backdrop to it, and it will be persuaded to grow in a particular shape. And
it is very much a fuchsia type flower in terms of the shape.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, spitting image of a fuchsia. That cherry red flower with a pendulous stamens in the centre. Classic.
Actually, very pretty, but I suppose the one thing that puts me off versus the fuchsia is those thorns.
Those thorns, yeah. But early season colour.
Right.
Early season colour.
So number 3 then.
Number 3, yeah, something that is heading more towards a wall shrub. This is Crops Fatshedera, lizei, and this is Variegata. So cross Fatshedera, a cross between, what do we think?
Well, Hedera helix would be your ivy,
Yeah.
standard ivy, so it's going to be an ivy.
Yeah.
Fatsia,
is not an insult.
as in Fatsia japonica,
Yeah.
which is, I suppose, the shape that's given to that leaf is very much a Fatsia shape, but on a,
So that's exactly what it's done. It's taken an ivy leaf, broadened it, because it's got those Fatsia genes there, and also changed the habit from a creeping or climbing plant into a more upright shrub, like a Fatsia.
Very nice.
This is variegated, this particular one. It's evergreen. Flowers are not particularly special, a bit like a normal ivy or Fatsia, very similar flowers, very closely related.
Do the leaves change shape? So with a Hedera, you get that changing leaf shape where you go from the juvenile Hedera into the adult. Does it do that? Does it become more rounded as it gets...
It can do. I have seen it. Depends, like humans, we're all the same species, but we have variation within us. Depends on the plant. Some will. The leaves are typically larger the higher up the plant you go.
I see this nice... I mean, that one's got real defined shape to it.
It has. It's
but
also
not the variegation.
lost in the
I see.
variegation. And that could be that the variegation is caused by a relatively harmless virus,
Yeah.
and that you've got a bit of reversion there. That could well be what's happening.
So we'd actually take that out in order to stop the plant all reverting to the green, because that's got more chlorophyll and becomes stronger than the...
Absolutely. The white variegation, the silver variegation, is pegging this plant back. It's keeping it a little more restrained.
Yeah.
Because they'd be pretty sizable plants.
And Hedera, again, it's one of those, as a gardener, that I curse when I see it, because it's up every tree going.
Yeah.
Does this have a really... does it grow fast because it's a cross with a Hedera?
Fairly rapid growing, but it knows its own limits. If you know what I mean.
Okay.
Generally, will round out about 2 metres and won't tend to go higher than that.
That's quite a useful garden sort of plant then.
It is. It's a lovely backdrop plant, particularly actually the non-variegated one, just as a green foil for any planting in front of it.
Yeah.
Big leaves, big foliage, makes a good backdrop.
I like that one, Pete.
It's a nice one.
What have we got next?
Now, something that is most definitely a wall shrub, this narrow group of plants, that they're not self-supporting, so they're not climbers, but they do work well against the frame of a wall. This is Garrya elliptica James Roof. So Garrya elliptica is a winter flowering plant. You've got these lovely tassels. You see the silver tassels. They hang down from the tree a little bit like the bean pods on a Catalpa bignonioides.
Oh, you love saying that.
Oh yeah, Catalpa bignonioides. What a name. But this is Garrya. But it's that same idea of the pods hanging down on a Catalpa. These tassels hang down on the Garrya. So as you're pruning it, you're trying to emphasise those tassels.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure I find a Catalpa bignonioides for you this summer.
Yeah, Catalpa. Lovely plant, that. And this is a fantastic bit of interest for winter. So evergreen again. Great big wall shrub. So the idea is it grows fairly 2D, if that makes sense.
Okay,
So
not sort of flat and wide.
rounded. Yeah, flat and wide, almost in a fan shape.
Okay.
So that's why it's well suited to the position against the wall.
So you don't really need to do that much pruning to keep that shape against the wall then?
Not too much, no. You're taking off the extension growth that is then protruding
Right.
and going to block the tassels.
And those tassels, do they contain seeds or anything?
They're part of the plant's reproduction, so they're essentially they are a flower part. That's what
Right,
they are.
okay. Interesting.
So that's
Brings
Garrya.
us to number 5.
Number 5, the last one.
Oh, I recognise this one.
Yeah. Have a
One of
go
the
then.
sweetest smelling plants, and actually leading on from our last one where we were talking about various boxes.
Yes.
This one is known as sweet box, or certainly Sarcococca confusa would be. I don't know, this looks like a different Sarcococca.
It is. Look at the shape, or rather I should say perhaps the form of this one.
It's got slightly longer leaves and
It
sort
has.
of more spacing between them.
Yeah, so this spacing, what we call the internode, so one node to the next node, is much greater than on Sarcococca confusa. So Sarcococca confusa, one you're talking about, sweet box, is basically like a box, compact, low growing, doesn't topiary, but it will certainly fulfil a similar role to box. This has almost a bamboo-like quality to it, much more open structure.
Lighter leaf colour as well.
Yeah, it can be.
Although that
again,
one's
it will vary. Yeah, don't let it trick you. And also, look how dark that stem is. Almost black. So you've got a contrast there between the colour of the foliage, the colour of the flowers, which are this pale white, with a hint of pink in there, and then the dark of the stems. It's
Quite nice stems there.
They're lovely. And we've really gone in here and taken out any growth from the centre to really accentuate those stems.
Does this have the same sweet smell as the other Sarcococca?
You tell me.
Well, it's not in full. I can't smell it at the moment.
No, it will do, but not quite as strong. So
Right.
this is Sarcococca hookeriana. So not Sarcococca confusa, Sarcococca hookeriana. So yeah, not quite as intense. Although it varies. Some people tell you that it is as intense.
Is that species name? Is that related to hookera in any way, shape or form?
Now this is so hookera, the sort of perennial plant, low-growing, massive foliage, is hookera.
Yeah.
This is hooker. So it's named after the
Victorian era.
I'm suspecting
Yeah,
Victorian era plant collector named Hooker, Latinised into hookeriana.
Wasn't he one of the RHS? He's like a disciple of the chap who led the RHS.
So you have lots of plant hunters and plant collectors who really become almost immortalised with their names.
I'm sure I've heard that.
Plants, species, epithets, particularly.
That's one we'll have to look up.
That's one to look up. Yeah.
Homework there.
Yeah. So that's the 5 this week. Thank you very much, Pete. We'll join you again soon. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, where we'll be doing lots more. Certainly, we've this week again done the plant idents because it is raining outside quite horribly. So we thought we'd go for that today. But thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
See ya.